in this video. This is a practice video or an introduction video, okay? So it's not going to go in great detail or discussion. It's just basically practice for skills, and it's practice and skill for order of operations. You can stop and start the video at any point if you're watching it on your own because you're at home, you're absent, or you may have missed class for some reason, okay? But we're going to talk about the order of operations and do the best that you can during this video, all right? If we correct the problem before you are done, just jump in and copy the solution, okay? You don't have to finish, and it's okay to not be as fast as somebody else, okay? Fluency is something we develop, or sometimes you might just be so neat and methodical that you're taking your time, okay? And if that's the case, just jump in when we start up the video again. The important part is that you look, listen, and learn, okay? You can always practice on your own. So again, if you're in math class and your teacher goes real fast, you can always go home and practice on your own, okay? Because they do travel at a pace that fits the majority of students, okay? And we don't all perform as fast as everybody else. I know I don't, okay? So anyways, let's take a look at the order of operations, okay? First order of operation, when you get an expression or problem to solve, the first thing you do is the parentheses and what's inside the parentheses. You follow order of operations within the parentheses. Wanted to throw that in there. The other thing is that once you do what's in parentheses, you then go and you look for exponents or roots and solve those next. Once you've done what's in parentheses, once you've solved your exponents and or roots, then you would do division or multiplication from left to right, followed up with finishing the problem by doing subtraction or addition from left to right, whichever comes first. So those last two, the third and fourth step, you would do multiplication or division, whichever comes first, from left to right, and then mop up or clean up the problem doing the subtraction or addition from left to right, whichever comes first, okay? Now, a couple things I'd like to point out to you. Number one, you should show your work and track your work when you're doing these problems. That is a huge math skill. That way, if you make a mistake, you can go back and find it. It'll be very helpful in algebra and trig and calculus. But show your work. Often your school, your teacher, or your parents will provide you with a helpful resource that you can use, and it will oftentimes have the order of operations in it. Like we provide the agenda book, and our agenda book often has math help inside it. It's a great resource, and here the order of operations are listed right for all the students, okay, in there. So you can sometimes find it in the back of a folder that you bought, or a book cover, whatever. Check your notes, folders, and agenda book for that kind of help. It's a great resource, and that's why it's provided for you. So let's give a problem a try, all right? Here's our first problem. 88 minus 6 times 6, okay? I've kind of thrown up the order of operations for you in the video. You can follow them along. We're going to pause the video. You try and solve that problem right now. All right. We're going to start the problem up again. If you're not done, just jump on in and see how we solve it. Okay, the answer to this problem is not a red dot, it's 52. Okay, it's 52. Now, order of operations tells us that we do what's in parentheses first. There are no parentheses. Then we solve for exponents or roots. There are no exponents or roots. So then we solve division or multiplication from left to right. Well, 88 minus 6 times 6. Well, this operation of 6 times 6 needs to be done first. So 6 times 6 equals 36. So now we have 88 minus 36, and it should balance out to 52. So now we have 88 minus 36, and I'm going to set it up over here so I'm accurate on scratch paper. 8 minus 6 is 2. 8 minus 3 is 5. That gives us the answer of 52. Okay? So that's how we would solve that problem, okay? We did our subtraction last. We really only had two operations, subtraction and multiplication. Okay? All right, next problem. See if you can solve this problem. All right? 6 plus 3 to the second plus 5. All right, go ahead and I'm going to pause the video. You try and solve it. All right, here we go. Let's take a look at our problem. All right, if you're not done, jump in and copy the notes as we go. All right, the answer for this problem is 20. Okay, so what we want to do is what's in parentheses first. Well, we have a couple things going on inside here, so we're going to apply these steps inside the parentheses. So we look for, there's nothing else in there as far as parentheses or brackets, so we can go on to solve for our exponents. Our exponent that we have to solve for is 3 to the second. Remember, 3 to the second is actually 3 times 3, which is 9. So now we have 6 plus 9 plus 5. Okay? We are still on the first step of solving inside the parentheses. 6 plus 9 is 15. And now we can go on to solve, because we're done in parentheses, division or multiplication. We don't have any division or multiplication, so we're moving on to the operations of subtraction or addition, which we have, and so we now have 15 plus 5 is 20. All right, and there we go. Okay, next problem. Okay, here we go. See if you can solve this one. 8 times 2 plus 7 times 3. I'm going to pause the video. You go ahead and solve that problem. All right, here we go. Let's take a look at it. Again, if you're not done with it, you can jump in and see how we solve it right now. Okay, first thing we do is look for parentheses. Nothing like that. Solve for the exponents or roots. No exponents or roots in there. Solve for division or multiplication from left to right. Well, we got a couple things going on here. We first see that we encounter 8 times 2, which is 16. So now we have 16 plus 7 times 3. Well, 7 times 3 is 21. So now we have 16 plus 21. And when we add those up together, we get 16 plus 21, and we get 7, and we get 3, so we should have the answer of 37. All right, let's try this one, okay? 9 to the second minus 7 times 5 plus 3. Taking away the rules this time. See if you can do it on your own. Okay, here we go. A little bit more complicated this time. They've kind of thrown some things in there, and I've taken away our follow along rules. So what we want to do is what's in parentheses first. 7 times 5 is in parentheses. Well, 7 times 5 is 35. Okay, so what's inside our parentheses is done. So we have that addition of 3, and we have 9 to the second over here. Now, we now are done with what's in parentheses, so we want to look for exponents or roots when we have 9 to the second. Remember, 9 to the second is actually 9 times 9, which is 81. So now we have 81 minus the value of 35 in parentheses plus 3. Next step, we look for multiplication or addition, or multiplication or division. And we don't have any of that, so now we can do subtraction or addition from left to right. Well, we have the 81 minus 35, so we can do 81 minus 35. Notice how I'm using scratch paper. Borrow from the 8, regroup the 10s into the 1s. 11 take away 5 is 6, 7 take away 3 is 46. So now we're down to 46 plus 3. And our answer then is 49. The Answer is 49. Little technical issue. Okay, one more problem. Let's see how you do. Okay? Uh-oh. This time they're saying evaluate the expression. Okay? And I've put the order of operations back up on the video for you to follow. And I'm going to do something different this time. I'm going to tell you what the solution is, or what the answer is. It's 15. Now I did that on purpose because in algebra, in the back of your algebra book, they often give you problems with the answers. Because if you know where you're going, then you can kind of sort out the steps as you go and kind of self-check as you go to prove you understand. So I want you to give me the steps for reaching 15. I want you to show me the steps following the order of operations in order to get 15 using that expression. Okay, here we go. Let's see if you have the same steps as I do. Remember, you can jump in as we go along, okay? All right, here we go. Now, our goal is to reach 15 using the order of operations with these numbers right here, okay? So anyways, what we have here is we have 4 to the second minus 4 in parentheses plus 6 divided by 2. Alright, so we have to do what's in parentheses first, and inside there we have an exponent of 4 to the second, which means that we're going to have 16 because it's 4 times 4. So now we have 16 minus 4 plus 6 divided by 2. We're still in parentheses, and 16 minus 4 will give us 12. So now we have 12 plus 6 divided by 2. Alright, so we're no exponents outside, so we can go on to multiplying or division. We do have division. 6 divided by 2 is 4. So now, 6 divided by 2, made a simple mistake, is 3. And you know how I caught that 4? I thought to myself, wait a minute, 12 and 4 is not going to add up to 15, but 12 plus 3 will add up to 15. So I was able to, by knowing the answer in advance, I was able to say, whoa, wait a minute, I made a simple careless error in my computation. So anyways, that's one of the reasons why your math books will oftentimes provide you with answers for you to work with. Not because they want you to just copy an answer, but because occasionally we make these mistakes as we're doing all these steps. Okay, so anyways, there we go. Hopefully you got a little bit of something out of this lesson and it all works out for you.